Hey, what's up guys? How are you guys all doing? So today I'm going to be bringing in another Warframe video. This is going to be a little bit different from the other one that I uploaded. This is going to be a video talking more about the beginning of the game and kind of focusing on new players still again to try and help people figure out, what the heck am I doing here? Where do I even start with this game? Because I know the tutorial on this game itself isn't really the greatest thing in the world, and starting from scratch in this game is just kind of, well, it's kind of an experience that isn't exactly user-friendly to be quite honest at the beginning of the game. I know because I was one of those players who did struggle at the beginning of the game. I really did not know what I was doing, and I was constantly either asking other players for help or looking at forums, looking at the wiki to see what the heck I was doing. And yeah, so this is going to be a guide really kind of for that. So let's talk about the beginning of the game. When you start off, you have a choice between one of 3 Warframes. You can either choose Excalibur, Mag, or Volt, each with their own skill set and all that stuff. So you choose one of the Warframes. Doesn't really matter which one you pick, because you can build them all eventually later on in the game anyways. But you pick one of them, you play through the first quest, or the first mission, and you choose a melee weapon between the MK1 bow or the Skana sword, and then you choose a secondary between the Lato pistol and the MK1 kunai, and then you choose a primary weapon between the MK1 Bratton or the MK1 Paris, a bow or an assault rifle. And regardless of whatever you choose to start off the game, you still play through the mission. You've played through the quest to get the Ascaris, which is something that Captain Vor puts on you at the very beginning of the game. And you play through the first quest to get that taken off you. But then the problem is that after that, the game kind of stops telling you what to do. Like, you kind of just get left in this state where you really don't know what you're doing. You really have no idea what do I do next? So the main thing that is a struggle for the players is, like, if there's not really something telling them what to do, they're not going to really know what to do. So this is going to be a video, hopefully, showing players, or not showing, but I guess explaining to players what you really need to do next. So after Captain Vor's first quest, or after the quest where you defeat Captain Vor, the next part that you want to start working on is your star chart. You want to start working on unlocking planets, unlocking more missions, and eventually this will lead to you having more storyline quests. Not all quests are related to the story or the lore behind Warframe and the Tenno, but most of them are, and they're really only obtainable by unlocking other planets and unlocking the nodes or the missions on those planets. Another reason why it's really important to unlock planets on the star chart is because you want to be able to get all the resources from the different planets throughout the galaxy. More resources equals you can build better weapons, you can build better gear, build better frames, so on and so forth. Now, speaking of other frames and other things that you can get from the different planets, a lot of new players don't also know that every single planet has an assassination mission, which is basically a boss fight mission, and in that mission, you find the target that's supposed to be the assassination target, you kill them, and at the end of the mission, they drop a Warframe part. Each of the different planets has a boss on it that will drop one of the various base frames that you can obtain in the game. For example, the Venus boss, which I believe is the Jackal, drops all the parts for Rhino. So you can farm him, get the different parts for Rhino. Now, for every Warframe, you need 4 parts. You need the blueprint, you need the neuroptics, you need the chassis, and you need the systems. Each of these parts, well, except for the blueprint is purchasable through your market on your ship. However, the parts, which are the neuroptics, systems, and chassis, are only obtainable from the fights, and each one has a different drop percentage. So in some fights, you might find that you'll get the neuroptics and the systems, but then chassis will have a lower drop rate, so you'll have to grind a little bit more. Or sometimes you'll just get downright lucky and get all the parts in 3 goes. But the important part to remember is you only get 1 part per run, meaning you have to play the boss fight at least 3 times in order to get that frame that you want so badly. That being said, it's also important to keep in mind the fact that this is a free-to-play game, meaning there are going to be ways that you can pay money in real life via Platinum in-game to speed up the process of building things. So it's important to remember that building each individual part of a Warframe is going to take you approximately 12 hours per part, and it's going to take, a bit of resources. So I believe each part costs about 15,000 credits to build, and then you're also going to need materials for each part depending on each Warframe that you have. And then once you get all the parts together, in the 12 hours that it takes to build them, the Warframe itself, once you have all the parts, is going to take 3 whole days to build. And I know that sounds like a long time, but trust me, it goes by quickly when you're building a lot of stuff at once. So it is important to keep that in mind when you're playing this game, that it is free to play, and the company does have to make money somehow, so that's the reason why the build times are super, super long. So continuing to talk about Platinum, we already know you can spend it to speed up the process of building an item in the foundry on your ship. However, you can also use Platinum to buy frames, weapons, and also companions. Now, that being said, of course, it's really not recommended that you do that unless the item's possibly on sale. I personally don't really ever spend Platinum on buying a weapon or a frame. It's just not something that I think is very smart. At the beginning of the game, you may be tempted to do it, and that's up to you if you really want to do it or not. But if you want to keep this game, so to speak, a fully free game, then your best bet is not spending Platinum or not spending money on Platinum either. So something else that's also unknown to a lot of the newer players in the community of Warframe is that you don't have to spend a single dollar on this game to be able to make Platinum. You can make Platinum solely from selling items that you earn through the game by grinding to get those items, and these are prime parts for different prime weapons. Prime weapons being the sort of upgraded version of the original weapon. For instance, you have the Nakana, you have the Dragon Nakana, which is an upgrade to the weapon. Then you have the Nakana Prime, which is basically the Dragon Nakana 2.0. So using the Nakana Prime as an example, I can get a part for the Nakana Prime by doing Void Fissure missions, which are basically the method of getting prime parts now. I could get a part for the Nakana Prime, and I could put it up on the market, which is warframe.market, and I put it up for a price, however much Platinum I want to sell it for. Of course, this is supposed to be within reason, otherwise nobody will buy it, obviously. But I put it up within a reasonable price range, and people message me in-game, and I sell it. Simple as that. As a matter of fact, the gameplay that is actually being broadcast behind my narration here is, in fact, a Void Fissure mission. This guide is going a bit longer than I was really kind of planning on making it last, because it was really just supposed to be kind of a general overview of how to start off Warframe, to know kind of the general direction of where you're supposed to be going on this game. So I will kind of try and cut it off here in a little bit. In future videos, I will be going over more in depth of the start of Warframe, kind of taking you around the ship, knowing so you can know what each part of the ship does, and you know what you're doing, going kind of more really in depth and to be more specific about the topics that I discussed today in this video. So, that being said, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. If you guys stayed this long, I don't know if you really did or not, but as always, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more Warframe, and have a nice day.
Another job well executed.